Now, we heard yesterday none other than Kevin Stefanski pretty much say Shedeur Sanders has not been getting first-team reps because Dylan Gabriel is a rookie quarterback and he need pretty much a majority of all the damn reps. That was his answer to why Shedeur Sanders has not been getting first-team reps. Now, today, we got Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator, kind of doubling down on these comments in regards to Shedeur Sanders not getting reps. I don't know, but I'm telling you this. I said it once, and I'll say it again. Shedeur need to get the hell out of Cleveland.
What if the Browns offensive coordinator just detonated the most brutally honest take of the season, and it was aimed at Shedeur Sanders? Yes, apparently the prospect who's been benched longer than a loading screen finally had his situation publicly dissected. The internet is losing its mind, the fan base is furious, and the locker room simmering drama just went nuclear. Buckle up, this story's about to make Cleveland look like a reality show.
So unusual to have two quarterbacks that are rookies, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Can you explain how a challenge it is to develop two rookie quarterbacks at the same time?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, especially when you're getting one, you got to get a rookie ready to play in the games to help your team, and then you want to continue to develop the other one's a snap away. So we're all hands on deck. I would say it's a total group effort. Kevin, myself, Musgrave, it's all hands on deck to try to make sure both are ready to play. You have to maximize opportunity.
The Cleveland Browns are defined by two things: heartbreak and quarterbacks. Every season, the city of Cleveland awakens with hope, and by mid-season, they're already on Google searching how to emotionally detach from sports. But this time is different, not because of another miracle season, but because the Browns offensive coordinator decided to go full-blown philosopher about Shedeur Sanders and the precise reasons why he has not yet been granted an opportunity to actually take the field.
Is there anything to this Shedeur not getting first-team reps?
I think it's a little bit strange.
Yeah. You do think it? So you think it is?
I mean,
okay.
The guy's
All right.
one turned ankle one concussion check from upstairs. Drake May had to leave the game for 2 plays last week because the upstairs they thought he had a concussion. Right. So how could he not get 1 rep during the week? Now, just because that's the answer doesn't mean that's what's happening, but that struck me.
So you weren't buying what he was saying about, Dylan did because Flacco.
No, I buy that. I buy that he was telling mostly the truth there. It strikes me as strange that your backup quarterback wouldn't get 3 plays over the course. You've been in a lot of football practices.
And when a coach starts sounding like a therapist on live television, you know something's deeply wrong. Let's be honest, the Browns quarterback room has been a perpetual soap opera since before most fans were even born. They've had so many quarterbacks over the years that you could literally form a small army with just their jerseys.
News is both guys are bought in and doing a good job of working hard and understanding how important those opportunities are, to be ready for the team. So it is a unique situation. I don't know how many times it's probably happened, but probably not a lot. And we have the right 2 guys mentally right now in their demeanor and how they're prepping and how they're coming to work every day. I think we've put together a good plan, starting with Kevin and then pouring through the rest of the staff to make sure that those guys feel prepared to go play on.
And just when it seems stability might finally be within reach, enter Shedeur Sanders, a walking headline. The kid with a golden arm and the calm swagger of a man who already knows the cameras are watching. But here's the central paradox: he is not playing. He is not even getting the chance to show what he can do. And when asked why, the Browns OC didn't just dodge the question. He detonated a truth bomb big enough to rattle the dog pound itself.
Is not taking no damn 12 reps in a row in team run, 12 reps in a row, team pass, 12 reps in a row on 7-on-7. The backup always gets reps.
Let me push back, T. Let me push back. If the starter is a vet, yes, then the backup gonna get reps. Because when D'Amico Ryans was the number 1 and I'm his backup, D'Amico Ryans not taking all 12 first-team reps. Absolutely not. Acho, get in there for about 8 of them. And the worst part is, I'm gonna take more first-team reps than D'Amico, and I ain't finna see the field on Sunday. I'm gonna see the field on kickoff, kick return, punt return. That's it. So if D'Amico's there, yes. But when D'Amico got hurt, and now I'm running with the ones, my backup's not.
The moment he opened his mouth, you could almost hear the collective gasp from fans who've been begging to see Shedeur under center, because apparently it's not about talent, it's not about effort, it's about timing, that vague football code word coaches use when they don't want to say what they're really thinking. Translation: we don't know what we're doing, but we're too scared to admit it. So now the internet's on fire, fans are arguing, analysts are pretending to be shocked, and Brown's Twitter is in full meltdown mode. Some think the OC was being brutally honest, others think he just publicly exposed the team's biggest problem. They don't know how to handle young talent without smothering it first. And that's exactly what's happening to Shedeur. This kid comes in with all the hype, the poise, the leadership, the flash, the name recognition. He's the son of a legend and a walking NIL brand.
I don't know how many times it's probably happened, but probably not a lot. And we have the right two guys mentally right now, and their demeanor and how they're prepping and how they're coming to work every day. I think we've put together a good plan, starting with Kevin and then pouring through the rest of the staff to make sure that those guys feel prepared to go play on Sunday.
About the unique ways that you're getting even Shedeur ready to play, because we heard yesterday that Dylan's getting over all the first team reps now.
Yep.
We know about the post practice and stuff like that, but is there anything maybe during the week that you guys are doing that we don't know that's kind of unique to make sure that he's ready to play as well?
Yeah, I'd rather keep probably those in-house, just some of the tactics there. But, there's a lot of walkthrough reps that go around. There's a lot of learning opportunities that go around. There's reps built into practice that are still game plan reps that might not be with the first group all the time. So definitely using all the resources we have.
But instead of
to
developing
make sure
him,
that we
the
maximize
Browns decided the best strategy was to park him on the bench, like a collectible car they're too afraid to drive. You can almost imagine the meetings, the OC and head coach sitting there sipping lukewarm coffee, talking about patience and growth while fans outside are screaming, "Just let the man play." And that's when the offensive coordinator drops this so-called honest take that Shedeur just isn't ready yet, that he's learning, adjusting, adapting. Oh sure, because what every young quarterback needs is less playing time and more sideline views of a backup clipboard. It's like telling a pilot he can't fly until he's mastered the art of watching someone else take off. Meanwhile, every other young quarterback in the league is out there making rookie mistakes, throwing interceptions, learning the hard way, and growing, because his honesty didn't sound like a strategy. It sounded like confusion with a microphone. He said the quiet part out loud, that Shedeur isn't getting a fair shot, not because he's bad, but because the team doesn't know how to use him. And when a coach admits that, even accidentally, it tells you everything you need to know about how this franchise operates. You know what?
It doesn't make sense that he's a second string now and he's not getting any first team reps. It also doesn't make sense that he's not being considered to play any games this year, regardless of what we've been hearing. But this is the first time I've actually heard something that has to do with the planning and the development of any of the Browns quarterbacks, especially when it comes to Shedeur. They are being honest. Well, he is being honest. Tommy Rees is being honest with saying that, like, look, he's not going to get a ton of looks, but we're going to maximize whatever we give him. And it's not what we want to hear, but
the Browns could possess a diamond in their locker room, but they'd rather debate whether it fits the system. And by system, they mean a series of safe plays designed to ensure no one gets blamed when it all falls apart. Anyway, it's like buying a sports car and keeping it in the garage because the road might have potholes. Fans have been begging for a spark, something new, something exciting, and Shedeur represents that, not just as a player, but as an idea, a symbol that the Browns might finally break their endless cycle of mediocrity. But nope. Instead, the offensive coordinator comes out with this beautifully depressing message about trusting the process, which, let's be honest, is NFL code for we're winging it. Because in Cleveland, evaluation means endless film sessions where coaches overthink everything while pretending to be patient geniuses. It's wild because Shedeur isn't just another rookie. He's been in the spotlight for years, trained under one of the sharpest football minds out there, and he's handled pressure that would make most players crumble.
Kevin Stefanski told reporters that backup quarterback Shedeur Sanders does not take any reps with the first team offense during practice. Throughout the week, all first team reps are handled by Dillon Gabriel. He said this was different when Gabriel was the QB2 behind Joe Flacco. Dillon would take first team reps during practice when Flacco was the starter. So I've seen both sides of the argument here. I've seen that, yes, Dillon Gabriel is a rookie quarterback. You want him taking all of the first team reps in practice. He needs as many reps as possible. I've seen the other side. Shedeur Sanders is also a rookie. You got him backing up. What if he needs to come into the game midway through on Sunday and he's had no reps?
Yet somehow the Browns act like he's a high school backup still figuring out how to lace his cleats. And the brutal honesty part, it wasn't even inspiring. It was deflating, like watching someone confess they lost the map halfway through the journey but decided to keep driving anyway. The OC basically articulated the quiet truth. Shedeur is not getting a chance because they're not ready to give him one. Not because he isn't ready, because they aren't. And that is the story of the Browns in one sentence. You've got a team that loves potential but hates commitment. They'll draft you, hype you, and then hide you like a trade secret no one asked for. It's almost comedic how predictable it is. After that brutally honest statement, the rumor mill exploded. Reports started flying that Shedeur might be frustrated, that he's tired of being treated like a long-term project instead of a quarterback ready to compete.
Offensive coordinator Tommy Rees set the record straight about Shedeur Sanders' development up there in Cleveland. And also, Mary Kay, the beat writer, the insider for the Cleveland Browns, she gave her side about Shedeur Sanders' development. Tommy Rees, the offense coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, giving you his take on the two quarterbacks and how he's developing both of them. He said both of them are doing good. They have the two best quarterbacks. They think they are thriving in his offense under the leadership of the head coach, Kevin Stefanski. That's Tommy Rees, the offense coordinator, giving you his take on that.
And who could blame him? The man has been putting in the work, studying film, running drills, and showing discipline, yet the most action he's seen is holding a headset on the sidelines. It's the equivalent of buying front row concert tickets only to be told to sit in the parking lot for developmental reasons. Fans can see it too. They are watching games, seeing the offense struggle, the passing game sputter, and wondering how much worse it could truly get if Shedeur took a few snaps. Spoiler alert, it could not get any worse. Cleveland's offense looks like a PowerPoint presentation, slow, predictable, and barely functional. But knowing the Browns, they'll probably just double down. They will say things like trust the development curve, respect the process, and other corporate phrases that sound smart but ultimately mean absolutely nothing. And poor Shedeur is just sitting there watching from the sidelines while everyone else speaks for him. The coaches talk about him, the media speculates about him, the fans argue about him. But the one thing he is not allowed to do is play football.
Well, to back up, you said he was getting some number one reps. Is that true with Shedeur?
No. I mean, with a young quarterback with Dylan starting, you want to make sure he gets a lot of the reps. Different when you have a veteran like Joe, I would tell you, Tony. But still getting reps in a bunch of periods.
Because no matter how you spin it, Shedeur has the tools. He's got the vision, the accuracy, the composure, and yes, the swagger. But in Cleveland, that swagger gets treated like a distraction instead of an asset. And it's crazy because you'd think after years of quarterback disasters, the Browns would be desperate to try something new. But instead, they're acting like they're protecting a state secret. It's almost poetic. The team famous for not having a quarterback finally has one they're too scared to use. And that brutal honesty from the offensive coordinator. It's not courage, it's resignation. It's the sound of a coach who knows the system is broken but can't fix it. He didn't sound like a man with answers. He sounded like a man explaining why the GPS keeps saying recalculating. That one honest comment from the OC might have opened the floodgates, because once you admit a player isn't being given a fair shot, the whole narrative changes. Now people aren't asking if Shedeur should start, they're asking why he hasn't already.
First few people, and when I say few, I mean 4 or 5 people that y'all put in front of the media when y'all ask about Shedeur, other than saying I don't know or no, you actually gave a thought out plan that we can go with. We understand that he's a second string. We understand that he didn't come into the season a second string, but at least be a professional and give us a plan on how you plan on developing him if you're going to be asked these types of questions.
And that's dangerous for the organization, because once fans start demanding answers, the pressure builds fast, especially in Cleveland, where loyalty is earned, not given. There's already talk about Shedeur trade rumors, whispers that maybe another team sees what the Browns don't. Imagine that, another franchise stepping in, giving him a real shot and watching him thrive while Cleveland sits there, wondering how they let it happen. It's the kind of story that writes itself. And honestly, if that happens, no one will be surprised, because history has a way of repeating itself in Cleveland. They'll keep playing it safe, overthinking everything, and then act shocked when the player they benched becomes a star somewhere else. But in being honest, he accidentally revealed the truth fans already knew. The Browns don't have a quarterback problem. They have a courage problem. And maybe that's why the city keeps getting its heart broken, because you can't win if you're too scared to take a chance. Shedeur deserves more than that. He deserves the opportunity to prove himself, to make mistakes, learn and grow on the field, not from behind a clipboard, because greatness doesn't develop in hiding.
I don't think that's not my place. to answer, to even be able to give the answer to that. I feel like it's not in my control. So I'm not even gonna think about that or have that even in my thought process of why it is. Like, there's a lot of people that want to have the opportunity to be at this level, and I'm here, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. So whenever that is, it is. But it doesn't make me feel down, or it doesn't make me feel left out or anything, because I know who I am as a person, I know who I am as an individual, and I know what I could bring to this team.
It develops under pressure, under the lights when everyone's watching. And if the Browns can't see that, then someone else will. Cleveland's OC might have thought he was being brutally honest, but all he really did was confirm what fans have been screaming for months. Shedeur Sanders isn't the one who's not ready. It is the Browns. And in a league where boldness wins games, hesitation is just another way to lose. So if the Browns don't fix it soon, don't be surprised when Shedeur's wearing another jersey, smiling, starting, and proving exactly what everyone in Cleveland refused to believe. Because the truth hurts, but nothing hurts quite like watching the one that got away light up the scoreboard somewhere else.